Right, I don't know about you, but every now and then something turns up in my life which just makes it significantly easier. And for me, recently, that's been Dehancer. Now, for those of you who have done color grading before, video editing, you've probably come across LUTs before. Now, LUTs stand up for lookup table, and they're essentially presets that you'd get on Instagram or any of those kind of apps, and you'd apply it to your S-Log, D-Log, or Fuji-Log, or any kind of log footage. And like, they can be great, but let's be honest, most of them are trash, and even the good ones can mess up the skin tones because they just apply a fixed look. And the same can be said about bloom plugins or halation plugins. I say the word I use is they're dumb. They're just applied to the image. Whereas what I like about Dehancer is it actually replicates the film process. So you get the film stock, you get the development, and then you get the print. Now, like I said earlier, the problem with LUTs and halation plugins and bloom plugins and all this kind of stuff is seldom do they ever recreate that filmic look that we're looking for. They're just kind of a look that you slap onto your footage. But with Dehancer, halation and bloom are tied actually to the highlights, so they only appear where light would naturally react on real film. That gives you that subtle glow around bright areas, which feels way more natural and less digital. Now, for me, a huge thing that Dehancer does that is just amazing is the grain effect. Now, I've applied kind of grain overlays and plugins to my footage before, but it's just kind of a slapped on effect and it doesn't look very realistic. Whereas Dehancer actually generates grain per frame which reacts to the light and the color. There are different amounts you can add, so you can even customize it to get it to look exactly how you want it. So next I want to kind of give the cons of my experience of using this program. None of them were actually deal breakers, so I'm just going to kind of just go through them very quickly of my experience. So the first one for me is probably the biggest one, and that was the performance hit that I had on my computer. Now, I've got a new computer, I got it last year. But like, Dehancer's a beast. It's got everything in the same pipeline. So bloom, halation, grain, film stock, all that kind of stuff is all within Dehancer. So it demands a lot on your computer, especially your editing software. So when I am trying to preview the footage that I've gone through, I get a lot of dropped frames. So for those of you who don't know anything about video editing, it's kind of like stuttery and staggered. It's hard to watch the whole video through smoothly. There's probably a way around this. I've not really looked into it, so if I did some digging, I'd probably be able to sort it out, but that's probably the biggest negative that I found with Dehancer. The next one isn't so much about Dehancer per se, but it's the application and how we use the program. If you've spent any time on Reddit or Instagram or YouTube, you can see that there are some people who say that Dehancer has very much a stylistic look that can be overdone very, very easily. And that for me was definitely the case when I first started using it. Cranked up the bloom, the halation, I went all in on the grain, and it did look really bad. You can take really beautiful footage and just destroy it very easily. So what I've learned with Dehancer is less is more. And the more subtle you go, it just makes the footage beautiful, mate. The next one is probably just me being idiosyncratic, but there were just too many options on the film stock. So when you scroll down halfway through Dehancer, you'll see that there's options of what kind of look you want to apply to your footage. And there's just so many good ones. They're just so good. You've got your Kodak look, you've got your Fuji look, you've got some old ones I've never heard of before, and they just look really good. And I could spend way too long just going through them trying to find the one that I really liked. But like I said, that's not so much Dehancer, that's just me being a weirdo. But that's essentially it. I've had a great time using Dehancer. I've been using it now for about 2 months. And yeah, other than the performance hit, I've really loved it. It's been an amazing program to use. It is quite expensive, but I definitely think like it's worth it. I've tried replicating the same look with kind of like LUTs and bloom plugins and stuff, and just next to each other, I just think Dehancer wins. It just looks way more professional and it actually replicates that filmic look that I've been after for a long time. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all of that kind of stuff. And let me know your thoughts. Have you used Dehancer? What are your thoughts on it? And yeah, see you in the next video.